Hey guys, it's me, James John, and you're about to see a new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Now, today we talk about, hey, if you pay teachers more money, guess what? They'll actually come to work. Who'd have thought? Then we talk about why teachers need comedy in their life. Then we're going to wrap things up. We're going to do some parents in the news today. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Then we're going to give Devin some tips on what teachers need to do when dealing with difficult parents. Y'all stay tuned. A new podcast starts right now.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Thank you for tuning in every week. My name is Devin Siebold. Got my good buddy, Mr. James Jan.
How we doing?
We're both comics.
Yes.
He's a parent. I'm a teacher. Today we're going to talk more about his parenting.
It's true.
That's coming up. But before we jump into that, I do want to thank you guys for listening, subscribing, hitting that 5-star rating. We're super happy about that. Our listenership is going through the roof. Share all the videos you see. Let people know, hey, I listen to this teacher podcast called Crying in My Car. It makes me laugh. I love the comments, by the way.
Yeah.
Some of you are really quick to comment. Some of you are throwing out some great insight. And I go in, I read them, I like them, I respond to them over on YouTube. So check those out too.
Some of you are mean. I'm not that fat.
Sorry, I didn't mean to type that. I just no. One of the things that I noticed already. Okay, so the school year has kind of just began. You know, especially up north, they're coming back right now. And man, one of the things that I saw already from the teachers of my kids, that made me go, man, I do not miss that. Is the teacher sent out an email saying, hey, just so you're aware, this year we are using this program and this program instead of the two programs we used last year, which, by the way, were brand new last year and replaced the other two programs we used the year before, which, by the way, replaced the two programs the year before. Yes. And it's wild to me because it doesn't help the kids.
No.
It doesn't help the teachers, and it definitely doesn't help the parents. Now I'm a parent, and I'm having to log in. Okay, what was that login over here? How do we get to that website? Okay, so this one's different than the other one because this one scores here.
That's right.
And the thing is that everybody knows but nobody talks about is that it's never for the benefit of the children.
No.
The reason they do this and have a new program every year is they got pitched a new program.
That's right.
By somebody wanting a lot of money and going, hey, try this new program, get rid of the old program. Also, I'm best friends with the school board member. That's going to vote on this. And it's always that.
It's always a hookup.
Always. I guarantee you can always look up any of these companies, look up who runs them, who invests in them, who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And you will find a link. There's always like a 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's to a greedy politician that just wants you to buy into their testing, their program.
Gotcha.
The thing that they just so happen to have stock in. What? Where'd that come from?
What?
Are you kidding? What?
I didn't even know I had that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I sit here and I look at these new programs and I don't miss that, man. Every year we had something new. Every year, new ways to take attendance, new ways to contact the parents, new ways to grade this, to say, oh, you didn't go into that? Oh, well, you went into that, but that's not where that is. And you can't go into Journey. Journey's not, we're using Focus. Did you use Focus? How about you Focus?
And get it together.
And tell me what we're using for the next 5 years so I know, and they can get better too. That's the thing is, apps have updates.
They do.
Yeah.
Just update it.
Dude, I play video games.
Yes.
I love Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Did you play Cyberpunk?
I watched the anime.
Okay. But did you play it?
I did not.
You did not play the game?
I did not play the game.
A lot of people didn't play the game because a lot of people downloaded the first version of the game, which was broke. Didn't work. Google it. Okay. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was bugs everywhere. Wasn't working right. Guess what they did? They fixed them.
Yeah.
Now we have a great game. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the game. I love to play it. I think that it's fantastic. And everybody will tell you it took a year to work it out.
Gotcha.
it takes time to work out these programs. It takes time to work out these tests.
Yes.
It takes time to work out these things that we're trying to use and get them better. Not only that, but get the teachers on board, get the kids on board. Every year,
the parent
something
on board.
different. Every year, something different.
I'll tell you what frustrates me as a parent when I would come back to the new school year. They would change a system at the school on how we did things with our children, where to drop them off, where to pick them up. How does the car line now work? Where is it? Like, you have to relearn all that. And you know what it's like in the midst of learning something that has to do with school. Like, it's chaos. Like there is no immediate solution. You're just like, oh, this is going to take 4 hours today.
And unfortunately, it's usually never school specific.
No.
It's usually handed down from the district, and they're like, okay, so you can't do this anymore. It's like, but that works for this school. Yeah, but it didn't work at this other school, so we're going to change it for everybody.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't work that way.
Oh, my gosh.
And the thing that makes me so mad is, as a parent now, I'm on the back end of this, and I'm trying to talk to my kid's teacher, and it's like, do you want to subscribe for $6.99 a month so you can see a picture of your child? And it's like, what? There's a picture? Yeah, we took a great picture, and for $6.99, you can see your child. And it's like, are you holding my child ransom? Like, what is going on here?
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying you can see your child for $6.99.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't want to see your child. We'll notify the courts you're a terrible father. And it's like, wait, what?
I don't want to be a bad father. No.
I know. But the apps, they hit you up for the monthly. You can pay for a full year. I don't know that my kid's going to go the full year. They might drop out.
They go, wow.
I'm just kidding.
Fifth grade. I'm done, Dad.
I'm done.
Done.
Going about doing my own thing.
Done so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I bet there are parents that have like junior and senior kids, and it's like, yeah, we're going month to month on this subscription.
We've seen this great.
We've seen where this is going. But no, I got the new year, the new programs, and it's wild to me, man. It's wild. We used to have and I think I've told this story on here before, but I want to reiterate it because I'm so mad about it. We used to have a copy room.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
In the copy room, binders, hundreds of binders. This was what 1999, what we did. This is 2000, what we did. This is 2001, and what we did. And every year, something new. And that's the thing, too, is that, you know, teachers want to work in their classroom when they come back to school. And the reason they can't work in the classroom is because you have a new program that they have to learn. Well, guess what? If they learned it the year before and they're proficient in it, then you only need the new teachers. And let the veteran teachers go work in their classroom. We know what to do.
That's
right.
You
know, I used to blow my mind that I would be 10 years in as a teacher and we'd have a meeting on taking attendance. And I go, I know how to take attendance. And they go, but we have a new program. So you can't just take attendance the way you normally would. So do you realize how complicated attendance used to be for us?
How?
So if I'm going by what I remember. The very first day, if a student was in your class, you had to mark them as like E.
Okay.
They were there. They entered. If they were late, you had to mark them as tardy, unexcused. If they were late with a note, tardy, excused.
Okay.
If they weren't in your class, you left it blank. But the next day, if they showed up and they were absent the first day, you had to mark them an E the first day. But the rest of the students didn't get marked as an E. They just didn't get marked because they've already had the E. But then if they're absent, they need an absent unexcused. But if they gave you a note, then they get an absent excused. But sometimes they had medical reasons, so they had to have a different absence that was marked into the computer.
Good.
And sometimes the office would pull them out and they'd change the coding for you. You're yawning already. I'm going through training, James. You only have 7 more hours of this to go.
On attendance.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just present.
Yeah. Or just like a book where you'd go, check.
Yeah, you know, like whatever happened.
They're there.
That's it.
It was so much stuff. And then they'd change it. They'd mess around with it. And it was so frustrating.
Somebody actually came up with a system to take attendance that made it complicated.
Yeah, it made it exceedingly complicated. And we had to follow it pretty hard because I was in a school that we had some students that were on like parole.
Oh.
So if you marked the wrong type of absence, then an officer would show up and go, they're not here, huh? Okay. Thank you.
So if you marked them wrong, they could go see it.
They were tardy, huh?
Yeah.
Why were they tardy? Where were they? Pee in this cup.
Oh wow!
But that was how it was. It was like this is not only just attendance. This is court stuff, and it's like, okay, you really got to take it.
I did not realize I was right now years old when I realized there are kids on parole at school.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea. What?
A lot of kids on parole.
What kind of craziness is that?
Yeah, a lot of kids on parole.
Hey, look, this guy is a menace to society. We got to do something about him. What are we going to put him? High school. What?
With other children.
With other children.
We should do that.
That's a bad idea, is it not?
Oh, I mean, you want to give them a second chance. You don't want them to feel like criminals, even though I know. That's the teacher empathy in me.
That is, man.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
When he stole that car, I had no idea that there's kids that are on parole in school.
Yep. And sometimes for what they did in school.
We got to talk about this. How does that work? They get dropped off by an officer? They
just got to be there every day. Every
class period,
or be reported that they're not
Gotcha.
there. And the second they're not there, by the way, I would have sometimes students that run parole. I'd mark absent, and I go, well, they're not here. Absent. The next day, gone from my roster. And I'm like, oh, so they're back.
Okay, let's take a moment to just think about that. Mm-hmm. How bad is school?
Wait,
let me get it out.
I know where you're going.
How bad is school when you're like, you know what? I'll do jail.
Yeah. You know what? Same food. Why not?
Why not? That's just funny, man. Sorry, I never knew that. Man.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. And you know that there's a jailer going, we got a new attendance program. Oh, man. This one's E. He's here. Incarcerated. E for incarcerated. Wait a minute.
That's funny. That's funny.
It starts with an I know there's people that are already typing. It doesn't start with us. That's just the way that it works. But so new school items are in there.
I don't miss any of that. No, I don't miss any of that. I'm so free.
So I do speaking in schools.
Yes.
And I love speaking in schools. Don't get me wrong.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm speaking in your school, I don't want to sit through all day of the stuff you guys are doing before I speak. Like sometimes they'll be like, be there at 8. And then I'm there at 8. And then they go, great, we have you talking at 11.
Oh.
So listen to the training we're about to do for the next 3 hours. And then I'm back in school. I'm like,
But I left this behind.
Yeah.
I want to know if you ever go there and speak and you know how you always resonate with them. Because you came from being a teacher.
They love it.
Is there always that one guy that just looks at you and he won't even let you go? Like, man, take me with you. Like, please.
So I get comics. Teachers, there's a lot of teacher comedians out there.
I didn't know
or
that.
Teachers that are funny that want to be comedians, and they're like, I get a lot of people messaging me going, "Can I join the board teacher tour?"
Just asking, right?
Yeah,
out.
they're like, "Hey, I'm really funny. Can I join the board teachers tour?"
Okay.
Send me and I'm like, send me your 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then they will or they won't, and then I tell them I forward them over to the head of the BT organization.
But you have helped people get on that tour.
I have helped some people to get on the tour,
yeah.
but those are established comics that I know.
You got me on the tour, so thank you.
Yeah, those are established Well, I guess not all of them are established. But anyway, I'm just kidding. They're established comics, So I try to help.
You do. You actually do. I just wonder if there's the one guy like, hey man, listen.
Yeah,
I can't do one more day.
Yeah, there's some teachers that. Here's the wild thing: when I go and speak in the schools, I actually have, I believe, a very positive, like not just generic, a very specific message that resonates with a lot of teachers. The amount of messages that I get from people that go, dude, I didn't realize that I needed that as much as I did.
Nice.
It like really hits. And so I see that a lot. So I get not the take me with yous, just the, man, now I can keep going.
You gave them something to, there you go, put a battery in their back.
That's the weird thing, man. This kind of stuff that we do, I mean, we sit here and we joke and we have fun, but there's a lot of teachers that they need it.
Yeah.
They need to laugh. And like we go, ease the stress of your day, and it's actually getting them through it to where they go, that helps me.
After comedy shows we've done, people will come up to us and like, hey man, look, I'm going through a divorce. I just had a family member die. I needed this.
That's exactly what I talk about in my speeches, by the way.
Do you really?
Yeah. I talk about the healing power. And and this is the thing. People never believe me, but
true.
People leave the comedy shows and always have like the most gut-wrenching stories.
Yes,
and they're
do.
like, I'm going through a terrible divorce. I needed to laugh.
I needed it.
Yeah, and it's a healing thing.
And I've been depressed for a long time, and I needed something like this. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bro, that is the best part of comedy for me. That feeling you get when you help someone with doing these jokes that we do, that makes my whole day.
I think that's why teacher comedy took off.
Okay.
Because during COVID, teacher TikTok went crazy.
That's true.
And I was doing videos. I always say this, but I was doing videos pre-COVID, and they did good. I got a few million views. COVID hit through the roof because everybody needed to laugh.
They did.
And you needed to get rid of the stress.
Because if you just sat around thinking about what's going on, you would be depressed and crying. So I definitely, man, I was watching videos all day.
I agree. All right, let's jump into the teachers in the news. In Michigan, there are identical twins teaching side by side. How cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah, so there are identical twins. It's a family affair. I would hope they're a family.
That's how that works.
Yeah, they're identical twin sisters. They look and sound exactly the same. They finish each other's sentences. They read each other's minds. And also, they work together at the exact same job. So apparently they teach music and orchestra in Hudsonville Public Schools. They're identical twin sisters, 6th grade orchestra program, and they run it together. That is awesome.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
Also, whenever a kid thinks the teacher has eyes in the back of their head, they literally have another set of eyes right behind you.
That's
identical
true.
ones
That would
staring
be creepy.
directly at you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the twin sisters are nearly impossible to tell apart, which, by the way, that would, as a student, it's like, So that's where you go, miss.
I wonder if they dress alike too.
Oh yeah,
that would creep. That would really mess you up.
It says every day people are calling us the wrong name. We don't mind at all. It's the second year they've taught music together at the same school. They love being able to feed off of each other's energy in the classroom to create a strong music program at the building. I think that's cool because you got two teachers that are obviously passionate about what they do.
Yes,
and you got double the passion behind them. So that's incredible.
And I want to shout them out too because I was a band parent, so they're supporting the arts, and I think that's one of the things we also don't talk about a lot. Is fact it's just such a diminishing thing now in schools. So good for them.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. This next one is something that we need a little help on. There's a teacher in Prince George County in Greenbelt, Maryland. I believe this is where it says. Maryland police are asking for help for this teacher. They have not found her. She's been missing for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm hoping by the time this gets released, there's an update, but the police have been zero leads. Apparently, she didn't return from her condo after going for a walk near the park near her home and didn't return. So the police are desperate for any sort of leads. If you've seen anybody in the area in Prince George County, they said that the park has been searched. Apparently, this person teaches at Dora Kennedy French Immersion School, and they said that she just went missing. And the kids are worried. Everybody's worried about her. So yeah, hopefully, if you have any information,
please.
Miriam Asila looks like is her name, and she's missing. We gotta find her.
Absolutely.
I came across this one. It's teachers in the news, but also who knows? Maybe somebody out there listens to the podcast and goes, I drive by that area all the time.
Yeah.
And then they maybe give an extra look and hopefully find some clue as to hopefully she's safe.
Absolutely.
That's
Thoughts and
obviously
prayers.
You never want that kind of negativity to bad things to happen, but hopefully somebody knows something. Also, you never know. I'm crying in my car. Could be the next unsolved mystery.
I know you love that. Yeah, true crime. I know this is your
true
thing.
Crime. So who knows? We could be that. Also, there is an interesting one. A 16-year-old girl with 3 college degrees has become the youngest paid teacher. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She is instructing 3rd grade. 3rd grade teacher that is 16 years old.
Let's stop and appreciate. Come on.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
Yes, very nice. Also, I'm not letting you teach my child. 16?
She's rated T for teen.
She is rated T for teen.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw this and I was like, man, 16.
That's young.
And I did some research, man. How 16.
Yeah.
Okay. She is 16 years old. She's teaching the children. James, she was born the same year the iPhone was released.
Oh, God. That hurt my soul.
The song Umbrella was released the year she was born. The song Umbrella is as old as the teacher of your child. The third Shrek and the first Transformers were released this year as well. The Mitchell Report about steroid use and drugs. That's how long we've known about steroids in baseball. Before that, we did not.
None.
Nobody has suspected
Not
a
a clue.
The Big Bang Theory premiered the year she was born.
Jesus.
Tom Brady and the Patriots went 16-0, becoming the first undefeated team to win the Super Bowl.
Good
that
Lord.
year. And this is the one that hurt. This is the one that hurt.
I'm that old.
She was born the year that Steve Irwin died. I don't want anyone teaching my kids that only knows a world without Steve Irwin.
Yeah, it's true.
You just don't have
You
compassion.
You don't get it.
You don't understand.
Crikey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I honestly, 16, I mean, shout out to her. 3 college degrees at age 16. Wow. By the way, why is that the one you use? What are the other 2? I mean,
I'm just trying to figure out how she had the time to do 3 degrees.
I don't know. I mean, I went to a school that had dual certification, dual enrollment, but also had advanced courses that you could take in school, not AP.
Okay.
I was taking college courses in high school. I was in 9th grade, also taking humanities in college.
My kids did that.
Yeah, and so that was kind of an accelerated thing where you could graduate with a 4-year degree, not just a 2-year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You graduate with a
4-year degree.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so that was wild.
That is in 16 though.
Yeah, I don't.
How? Like, when did you start?
Right.
Doogie Howser. Like,
Yeah, I mean, 16 and teaching 3rd grade. I mean, I'm glad she's teaching 3rd grade.
God bless her.
That's probably those elementary. You don't want to teach. I mean, technically, if she got her teaching license, she could be teaching kids older than her.
Which is funny.
Technically,
she could teach kids that have a later bedtime than her. Like, that's funny. Yeah,
I agree. But yeah, man, and again, I'm not saying anything negative about it. Just a 16-year-old.
You don't know if you would feel comfortable her teaching your kids.
Yeah, we just gave you the right to drive.
Yeah.
So all right. Going on. I read this article. I thought it was interesting. There's a Southeast Delco superintendent that is resigning. There are teachers' aides accused of submitting false time cards. Here's the thing that I've always hated about higher ups.
Okay.
Higher ups have a chance to bail as the ship is sinking.
Oh, yeah.
You ever notice that?
Deuces.
Yeah. They're like, I accept my resignation.
What?
I'm the head of it. I can do that.
I'm ahead of that, yeah.
But apparently the superintendent stunned her own school board by saying, I'm resigning, handed in her letter of resignation and said, I'm out. I'm starting a new chapter in the next career of my life, hoping to continue with the great progress and student growth here at the school. Also, apparently police say that former aides billed the district for hours never worked and say the loss is around $120,000. They also say there was another employee recently removed from the district building for allegations of financial impropriety. But she's out. Peace.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. It's like, hold on, wait, you have a fire starting. Now, I'm not saying she did it, but I'm saying, don't you want to handle this?
Don't you want to stick around and resolve it?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously some problems here with some money missing.
Let me know how y'all fix that.
Yeah. Anyways, my cruise leaves in 6 minutes.
Don't want to be late.
Yeah, just be sure not to cancel the school card. Tell them on the boat.
That's funny.
So I don't know. It's apparently billed them for time worked and all that other stuff. The superintendent's new contract apparently was $207,000, and it was a source of controversy early in the year because it's such a big contract. That's insane.
So a superintendent can make that much money?
$200,000? Yeah, they can make a lot more than that.
Bro, what do you do?
You're a superintendent.
Oh, got it.
You superintend to do stuff.
Yeah, got it. I intend to do that. Superintend to do that.
I not only intend to do it, I'm superintending.
I like that.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Superintendents, to me, they have a lot of pressure. They got to meet state standards. They got to kind of, meet in the middle. But also, I'd love to know
what exactly do
what
you do?
The workload is.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. anytime I've ever messaged my superintendent, I got the assistant superintendent, deputy superintendent, the assistant to the assistant superintendent, the
volunteer.
Yeah, I'm like, how many people do you have working for you to do all of your work?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's what I'd like to know.
I would love to know. And again, I'm sure there's superintendents watching this going, I do so much. Don't get me wrong, you might. I just don't know.
We just want to know what it is.
Yeah, we just don't know what it is.
That's
what
it.
are you doing? Because I've never had them actually respond to an email. It's usually the assistant or the secretary that responds to and does the work behind it all.
Got it.
So I would like to know that. All right, this next one, I'm not going to read this one, but it's just kind of the stuff that makes me so mad. There's the American Conservative posted it says it's under culture. I don't know that I would label this culture. But the article, the essay is titled "Teacher, Leave Them Kids Alone." Yeah. And it talks about education reform in the United States and says that basically public schools used to be to educate the masses, and now they are in danger of devolving into an unequal plutocracy of which the educated upper crust lord over the unwashed multitude. I read this all about, and this thing was a lot of big fancy words, and it was a way of saying we think your kids are being indoctrinated and the teachers need to back up.
That sounded so like regal and old school, like it's the second act of Alexander Hamilton.
I know. Yeah,
it sounded so.
Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Yeah. But yeah, so I read about this and. I don't know, man. I question. I got some of the points. I'm not going to lie. I read it and I was like, I get it.
Okay.
We are kind of seeing where sometimes teachers are pushing certain, not agendas, but lifestyles that they have.
Yes.
And being a lot more open with it in the class and challenging the kids to be more open too.
Yes.
I think there's obviously a good aspect
there's
to
merit
that with
in that.
mental health.
Yes.
You want the kids to be themselves and you want to be yourself too. But that said, are we pushing it too much? As are things being talked about that obviously should be left up to parents? And I read the article. It's a huge essay. I'm not going to give it to you, but I will say they made some valid points. Also made some hot talking points that I think were a little uneducated. But it's called "Teacher, Leave Them Kids Alone." I wanted to bring it up because I read it and I got some of the points, but also I didn't. Do I think that there's indoctrination in schools? Absolutely not. The common joke now is if I could indoctrinate my kids, I would indoctrinate them to turn in their homework.
Yes.
And
if
bring
I could
a
do
pencil.
that, yes.
But are there attempts at some of this stuff? Maybe. I've seen some videos that I go, I wouldn't say that in class. I wouldn't do that. Why would you say that?
Well, here's where I'm at. And this is me just plain down the middle. It just needs to be fair. If you say we can't talk about this, then on the other side of that, we can't talk about that.
Yep.
That's my thing. If you're going to say don't teach this, then okay, we can't teach any of it. You can't just pick and choose. I think it needs to be fair.
I agree. All right. So, James.
Yes.
We're going to jump into you in just a second.
Okay.
One thing I did want to bring up real quick before we jump into your, are you doing Parents in the News today?
Parents in the News.
One thing I wanted to bring up. Now, I always look up teachers in the news.
Yes.
I read these articles. I go through. I look at it. I had a huge trend that I did not bring up this time. We've talked about it in the past, but I want to make this absolutely clear. I did research.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time online looking this up.
Okay.
While looking through the news, there were numerous. We still have a teacher shortage here. This county dealing with a teacher shortage.
Yes.
We are not able to open these schools.
Yes.
Such and such school uncertain about the future. Then there were also numerous articles saying teacher shortage averted. We have more teachers than we need. We have full staffing at this school district. I'm bringing this up to make a point. I looked up every one of the districts. I had a lot of time on this flight.
You did.
I had free Delta Wi-Fi and I dove in.
Okay.
Every single district, when I saw an article that said teacher shortage, every single one turned down pay packages for the teachers. Every single one had cuts in spending for teacher money, or were working on teacher pay, giving them a raise, giving them a bonus.
Yeah.
All the ones that said, we don't have a teacher shortage, we have less. There was one school district in particular that said we had 250 vacancies, now we're down to 30.
That's crazy.
Guess what they did?
What'd they do?
Raises.
Wow.
I mean, it was across the board.
Yeah.
Every single time I Googled it.
It's all raises.
And I was like, let me see what they're doing right. And I would Google the name of the county followed by teacher, and it would say, board approves unanimous $5,000 teacher pay raise for teachers.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I find the one that says, hey, we're short 500 teachers, and I Google it, and it says, North Carolina School District unable to settle the teacher union pay discrepancies, will vote again next week.
Yeah,
and
you got to pay people.
Every single time.
Yeah.
There's a correlation here. You got to pay them.
You got to pay people.
You got to pay the teachers.
Trust me.
If you want more teachers, pay for teachers to stay in your district.
A livable wage.
A livable wage.
That's it.
A livable wage.
Yes.
And by the way, next episode, we're going to actually talk about what a livable wage is for teachers. But I would like to go into the parents in the news with you, my friend. Parents in the news. I often do teachers in the news. I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, here's the thing. I've learned a couple of things while being on this podcast with you, Devin.
You've learned stuff?
I've learned some things, my friend. I feel like I'm in the fight, too. I'm not a teacher, never been, but I did learn some things. I learned how teachers view parents.
Okay.
When I did the Teachers Do Stand Up, I said, and I think I shared it on the podcast, I'm a parent. I got booed.
Yeah.
I got booed, and you say it like, that's what we're
I was in
to
the back booing you. I was the one.
You started to boo.
The stage.
And
He's
learned,
a parent. He's not one of us.
Yeah, I learned that. I learned that teachers view parents as not an ally. And well, here's why. And I started talking to parents after the show, and they explained some things to me. Parents can be difficult. Like, yeah, I'm using a nice word.
Difficult.
So I wanted to kind of bring an olive branch, if I could, on behalf of all parents. Okay. And I've been reading up, and thanks to the good people over at Western Governor University, they've come up with 5 tips. 5 tips for teachers on how to deal with difficult parents.
Okay, so I have a difficult parent. I should follow this advice.
Okay, the first one.
Number 1.
You tell me if I'm wrong. Devin, you've been a teacher. You've been in the trenches. You fought the war.
You're a parent. I'm telling you, you're wrong before you start.
Perfect. We're done. We're done. But as a teacher, you can't say that, can you?
No,
never. Gotcha.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, the first tip they say for dealing with a difficult parent, no surprises. And what they mean by that, no surprises, is if there's a problem, an issue with the child, let the parent know throughout the year. Don't wait to the very end. Now, you're smiling already.
Because I'm mad at you, Jay. I'm already angry.
Why?
I'm boiling inside.
Why is that?
Because we don't give you surprises. You neglect to do your homework throughout the year.
Yes.
The thing is that grade's always been there.
Yes.
You're just surprised that you forgot to check it. You're surprised that you're not doing your job.
Yes.
There aren't surprises.
No, there never is. There never is. But I'll say this. Yeah, I get it. They're saying, okay, you don't want to just spring it on the parent. But here's the thing about parents. If you're a teacher, I would keep records of every phone call, every email that I've made to that parent.
Yeah.
Because the goal is no surprises. But as a teacher, you're going to be surprised how much they forget.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you tell me? I've written you 58 times. I don't check email. I know.
I'm always surprised how many times I go to call the parent and it's a non-working number.
Wow.
And I'm like, you just gave this to us a week ago. Sometimes you pick up to call the parent and it's like the correctional facility you're trying to hold on.
Your son's on parole here too. That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So the first one is no surprise. But,
no surprise.
Okay, gotcha. When we're dealing with a difficult parent, the second one says meet face to face with the parent. And here's what they say, Deb. They say invite the parent you want to meet over and introduce yourself so you can resolve a problem because it's harder to resolve it over the phone. You want to meet face to face. And what do you say about that?
Face to face is always difficult, you know. So I can do face to face with the parent. I always have an issue with face to face with the parent and the student because then it becomes about how effectively they can parent. So they are almost, every single time I try to meet with a parent and the student is in the room and the student's not doing well, it turns into a student versus their parent in front of you.
Yes.
Like it's literally,
you're the mediator.
Yeah. You go, I'm sorry, your child's failing. And they turn into Mitch McConnell and they go, he's failing.
Straight face. And the kid's like,
and you're just like, okay, but please don't beat him here.
Yeah.
Like, I see the anger in your face.
You go from telling the parent what's going on to, hey, I want a clean fight. I don't want to.
Listen, I
want everything above the belt.
I mean, like, it's so wild sometimes how defensive and emotional and. Usually they'll go, I've had this happen so many times, like clockwork, where you go, look, your child's not doing well. This is the grades. And then they look at the grades and they go, what's going on? And they say that to the kid, and the kid, oh no! And they start crying, and you're like, I don't. Why? What are we doing here?
Why? That's not gonna work.
The tears always come, and it's not even just like I'm sad. It's the embarrassment.
That's what it is.
And that's the thing is,
they have no excuse.
I'm not trying to punish your child in front of you.
No,
I want to talk to you.
Yes.
And so if we want to meet face to face as a parent, you got a problem with something going on with the kid or something that I'm doing in the class. Great.
Now,
let's talk.
Let me ask, did you ever have to bring a parent back multiple times?
What do you mean?
Like have them come meet. I need you to come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Because you would say, hey, look, this is what's going on. If anything happens, let me know. Well, something happened. And I'm calling you back again.
And they're like,
oh, really? Okay. And I'm like, yeah, again.
Like, but if you meet face to face, you can actually show them stuff. Like, what if a kid had a problem with attendance? Like, here's my attendance book.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you had to do that repeatedly, call a parent back?
Yep. I mean, I've had to say, look, they're not coming to, okay, let me know when they're not here. And it's the day after they're not here again. Okay.
Do they ever get an attitude with you though?
I've only had one or two parents get really angry. I see some though. I get a lot of teachers that share their personal stories.
Oh, you're like,
and I'm like, man, I don't
know.
I could not read that email and be like, okay, you know what? There's a few that I would literally turn into the meme of Kermit. I'd be like, that. I would be so mad.
Yeah. I'm very. I just imagine if you have to call a parent back repeatedly because the child's having problems with attendance. They're like, Mr. Siebold, this is the second time this week I've been in this classroom. Yeah. You're like, well, congratulations. That's 2 more than your child has been. Really?
Thank you for attending when your child won't.
Good God. Now, the third thing they say when you're dealing with a difficult parent, they say you can alert your principal or department chair to the situation so they can be there for backup.
Oh, come on.
I knew that was coming.
I had to look at all 3 cameras on that one.
Because I've learned when talking to my teachers after the show, not every admin or principal is supportive. Is supportive. No, one lady told me you get more support from a training bra. Principal,
right?
Man.
I get that you should alert, but to me, the alerting to the admin is more covering yourself. It's not really trying to get the assistance.
It's CYA.
You know where this is going.
Gotcha.
You know that it's not going to be good, and so you have to have them in your corner. It's mainly like a paper trail. Like I told you this parent had this issue. I told you this is how I handled it, and this is the outcome.
Gotcha.
And that way they are not the one, back to number one callback, that's surprised.
That's right.
Why didn't you tell me about this kid?
Gotcha.
You go, I did. I emailed you.
And what you were telling me, and some other teachers was like, a lot of times the principal it takes a lot for the principal to side with the teacher against a parent, right?
It takes a lot for the principal to side
with the teacher, correct?
More now.
Yeah.
Because of the power of social media and let me go make this post viral, here's what happened to me, Yeah. And so, you get, it's harder to side with just a teacher.
So I like the fact you're like, hey, just bring the principal in. He's not going to support me. Like, why just have the parents that are throwing under the bus? Bring somebody in that can drive it.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah, you have the keys, right?
Right.
Just right over my back.
Right here. Yeah. Got him on a little zip. All right. The fourth thing they say when dealing with a difficult parent, you should listen and ask questions. They say when meeting with parents, you should ask them to explain why they're unhappy. Wait until they're finished, and you don't ask any questions or interrupt unless you just want clarification.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one.
Gotcha.
We definitely, as a society as a whole, need to listen more.
Gotcha.
I think we listen to talk, we listen to speak. We're like, okay, what are they saying? Oh, they said that one word that I disagree with. Now I'm going to sit here and fume and I'm going to tune you out. It's like, no, you should listen in and go, you know what? Obviously the parent has an issue.
Yes.
And, obviously they need to convey that. As teachers, we need to listen. As parents, you need to listen, and just, I don't know. It's a matter of just listening as a society as a whole, I think.
I believe you, but here's what I find funny. They say wait to the end to ask a question. I let them get all through this, or let them get all the anger out. Then I'd be like, all right. Let me ask you this question. You do know your son is the reason I drink.
Yeah, right.
On the job.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Before I came, this is the reason we're meeting at Chili's at happy hour. By the way, we both have El Presidente margaritas.
God bless.
The wait and listen and then ask questions. I mean, that's just
it's
general.
hard though as a person.
Yeah.
So, especially if the parent's going over the top, because most parents really love their kid, they're passionate about it, and they can get a little bit worked up.
Well, sometimes they use words like you.
Oh.
And I don't like that you. It's like, you. Yeah, you did that, you should. And it's just like, how about we? How about we as we're a team here?
Yeah.
Let's work together. It's not me versus you.
No.
It's we both got the same goal. Get that kid grade up and graduate,
And out of your house.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Help you.
Help me, help you. Yep.
There you go. And the last thing they say, the last tip for teachers dealing with a difficult parent, try to find things you agree on. They say when you meet with them, find some common ground like you just said. Mm-hmm. I'm not against you. I'm not your enemy. It's a we thing. How can I help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
I think it'd be easy. I'd be like, hey, I understand everything you just said, Mr. Siebold. So let's just find some common ground and something we can agree on. Uh-huh. Let's both agree I'm not your child's mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm not here to baby them. Okay?
I'm not here to baby them.
They need to do the work.
Yep.
I think we both can agree on that.
So that's the interesting thing too, is I do find that there's extremes here.
Okay.
You kind of brought up an interesting point.
Okay.
There is a desire to have the kid be independent, but also sometimes the parents want that independence before the child's ready for it. You have to give them the skills to be independent.
Yes.
You can't be like, hey, go camp and survive. But by the way, I'm not going to show you how to make a fire or set up a tent. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get the tent and the fire and give them the skills,
yes,
which requires working with them.
You have to.
And some parents, man, there were some times where I had parent-teacher conferences,
yes,
and the parent, you could tell right away they'd given up.
Yeah.
They're like, no,
or had never
they're
tried.
failing. Don't you check your grades? Don't you do that? You should check your grades. He should turn in the work. It's like, okay, but maybe just a little cheerleading in the corner for him. Hey.
And we've said this before. There's no excuse nowadays for a parent not to be an active parent in their child's academic career. There are programs. They come out with them every year where you can check their homework. You can check their grades. You can check what they're missing. There should be no reason that you don't know what's going on.
I'll one-up you. Be a proactive, not a reactive parent.
True that.
Jump in and go, hey, how can I guide my kid to success? Not how can I get my kid out of this ditch that they're in
trouble.
right now. Yeah.
It's too late. It's too late by then. So that was the 5 tips. I hope that helped. I hope that helped somebody out there listening as well.
I feel good. I feel like now you understand why I hate you.
Okay, all right. Oh, man. You would have loved my kids if you would have taught them. My kids were amazing.
Yeah, they're cool kids.
Okay, I got a parent story for you. It's a little weird. It's a mom at school. She's causing quite the stir because she's showing her kid a little bit too much affection.
Oh.
Okay. You've seen the mom drop the kid off. They hug. They snuggle. I love you. I love you too, Mom. And,
I'm that way.
Are you really? Me too, man.
Yeah.
I still hug my kids, man. They're in their 20s.
Yep.
But this mom is raising some eyebrows because when she drops off her kid, kisses him. Now, we've all been kissed by our mom, but she kisses him on the lips.
Okay.
That's not strange. Wait a minute. I've known my mom for 47 years. Uh-huh. We've never kissed on the lips.
When I was young, I kissed my mom on the lips.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've never kissed my mom on the lips.
It's just, sometimes it's. I don't know why kissing is a sign of affection. We turned it into a romantic thing only. But it's not just romantic. It's also love and affection.
It is. Yeah. I love my mother.
Yeah.
And I will say that. And I know in the Latin community, I'm married to a Puerto Rican woman. They kiss on the cheek.
Uh-huh.
I've seen that. I've seen a lot of cultures kiss on the cheek. But I think I think kissing on the lips is one of those things where it's a really intimate thing on the lip.
Yeah,
the lip means something.
But see, that's kind of what you're raised in, Yeah. Is if I love you and we love each other and we kiss on the lips, that means we are romantically involved. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Okay, well, let me ask this then.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's not romantic, is that reserved for mom? Like a kiss on the mouth is something that a mom would do to a child.
I think it could be dad too.
Dad?
Yeah.
Like uncle?
Yeah. Again, you're just, but you're trying to, I don't know, sexualize it. Maybe.
I guess I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to but to me, it's just the lip almost always in my head meant something different.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
I could get that.
Gotcha.
I could understand that.
So I guess what's the cutoff? Is there a cutoff age for mom kissing on the lips?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know, and I'm not trying to say I don't do that with my children.
Gotcha.
But again, I don't believe in forcing a child to do something like that. But also, sometimes that's just how families show affection. And who am I to tell you that your way of showing affection is
wrong? You're right. I see that.
Sometimes we generally like kind of corner people on their lifestyle. It doesn't coincide with what my idea of that is.
That is, you're right.
And that may not be how they think of it,
She loves her son, apparently.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear.
I'm gonna relate this. You seen Shallow Hal, right?
Yeah.
So in Shallow Hal, they free him from the boom. Suddenly you see the women the way they're supposed to be seen. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, why did you do that? I was happy the way it was.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you need to see how gross I see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I wasn't seeing gross.
Yeah.
So gotcha. I kind of see it like that. Like
I understand.
I
see what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. But that said, entirely gross. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
I would love to hear from you guys out there. Let me know what you feel about.
Yeah. What's the cutoff age on that?
Kissing your mom on the lips.
Well, at school, I mean, I'd just worry about bullying if I was a parent. And I wanted
that would be weird.
I show my kid affection going up to elementary school. I'm sure their reaction to my affection in middle school is going to be drastically different. Like, Dad, stop hugging me. Dad, I know you love me. You don't have to tell me 20 times I'm walking in the door. Gotcha. I'm about to get beat up.
I know, yeah.
It's like, okay. I'll tone it down.
It does change as they get older, man. But I got one last one from you, and it's a good one, though. There is a mother on TikTok. She's gone viral. I think
there's a mother on TikTok?
Oh, that's where they keep them. That's where they keep them. She has 1.4 million views on this particular video. Now, her name is Sharon Johnson, but her name on TikTok, Sharon a Life.
Sharon a Life.
Yes. Oh, that's a mom thing.
Live, laugh, love.
Yes.
There's Bryson and Tyson and
Cameron.
Breeson. And
Breeson.
but Bryce spelled the same as Bryson, but it's pronounced Breeson.
Breeson. There you go. Now, growing up, my mom was a cop. I told you that, right? Very strict. Yeah, she's a strict cop. So I had a lot of rules in my house I had to follow. And there are probably some rules that my other friends didn't have to follow, like my mom. But my mom was a Southern, strict woman, okay? Now, this woman has come out with her own rules, and people are responding because they're like, this sounds absolutely weird and crazy. Mm-hmm. First off, before we go on, do you have any weird rules for your kids?
Weird rules for my kids? No. Yes. My dad had a rule that I had to be clean shaven. And
like what's clean shaven? Like
clean shaven.
No goatee.
All the time.
You can have a mustache.
And let me tell you right now, I think rules like that backfire when you get a little bit older, because the second that he stopped enforcing that rule, I went full on Jesus. Like I was, and it was like I'm rebelling.
Yeah,
I finally, so I don't know about those kind of rules, but go ahead.
Okay, this is not that extreme, I don't think. Okay, her first rule, kind of weird. 4 rules that Sharon came up with. It says no playing with friends on Sunday. That's a little weird.
Is that because the Chick-fil-A play place is closed?
Pretty much.
Yeah. No playing with the kids on Sunday. That's a weird one. That Sundays was the day. I mean, you had the sleepover on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then Sunday you woke up at like 11.
Yeah.
And then you had fun.
That's just weird.
That's a day off. Yeah. You only get one weekend day?
Boo,
Sharon.
And they asked Sharon, people replied, like, why would you not let your kids play on a Sunday? Why? What kind of strict, crazy woman are you? And she said, look, it's not that. We believe in letting our kids play with their friends and have that time. But Sunday's a family day. So we do. Okay. Yeah. So it kind of makes sense when you say it that way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, gotcha. All right. I'll side with her on that.
Okay. Her second rule says children need to participate, her children, with 2 years minimum of piano lessons.
2 years minimum piano lessons.
Yes.
I can get on board with that. And I'm not trying to force it or anything, but I think piano, again, is a skill that can go into other things. People think I'm teaching my kid chess. I taught my kid how to play chess. I'm not teaching him chess. I'm teaching him problem solving. I'm also teaching him strategy. I'm teaching him, basically how to think things through. And I think piano is kind of like that. It's kind of the basis.
Yeah.
Reading music is the basis for all other music, and it teaches something.
And that's exactly what she was saying. Because the reason we do
Sharon,
that,
I like you.
It teaches kids discipline.
It
does. And so she was saying, teaching them something like that, they can go into anything from there. They can choose a different instrument.
And she plus, said, oh my gosh, the ladies.
Ooh.
Yeah, just what would I do without your smile? Yeah, I mean, telling you start playing that, it's like,
is there sinners in the right? Where did I go wrong? Yeah, but she was saying the reason she chose piano too is because they're on a budget. She has 4 kids, so she has a piano and she has
a piano on her
phone. There you go. So I kind of can see where that comes from.
Okay.
Her next rule. This is a weird one, and this is for you, the teacher. No homework until you're in junior high.
No passing grades until you're in junior high. Interesting. Yeah, I don't side with that one.
Okay, she thought, and this is what I want to make sure I say this right. She says she doesn't believe kids should have to homework until they get to the right age for it. She doesn't think kids in elementary school should be doing homework.
I don't think they should be doing homework, where it's actually like exceedingly hard. Mm-hmm. My kids get some stuff and I'm like, man, this is going to take us an hour to do. That I don't like.
That's too much. We talked about that.
Yeah, just a little 10-minute like refresher, maybe a game to play, something like that. It connects me and my child, and I can go, oh, that's where you're at. Okay, I'm going to have to Google this. And, and that's the thing is I do enjoy that, hey, we're working together. I'm helping. Yeah. So not till junior high though. And to be honest with you, that's when the homework died out. I think there's more homework at a young age because they're trying to cover a lot.
Yes. Now, she said, and I don't know how true this is, she says, you just call or email the teacher before they get to junior high, and you just say, hey, my kid isn't going to routinely going to do his homework because I don't feel that he's ready to do homework yet. So she says, just write the teacher, let them know that your kid's not ready for homework, and everything will be fine. Yes.
Okay. I'm sure that works.
Yeah.
If you can actually, the email she used was when pigs fly at whatthehellamthinking.com.
Yes.
It'll go right through. I'm telling you. But
no, she had one last rule real quick, and she did not explain it at all. But her last rule is no singing at the dinner table. That's it. No accessories.
See, we sing sometimes.
We do.
Yeah, we sing sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I love singing at the table, man.
We got Alexa right by the table.
So do we.
Yeah, you chime in and say, we'll do some songs.
We'll put on a song. Like, us, we're nostalgic. We're 90s guys. If you got a playlist going on, Alexa, and a song, like your song comes on, you sing it too.
Yeah.
Man. Yes.
One of the songs my kids are really into right now, you're going to love this one. My youngest son, he's 7 years old. I'm the scat man. And
that's the song.
Literally, we're at the dinner table. It's like skibbity beep
Everybody's like,
yeah, you can't hate on it because you're sitting there going, why did this song not get like a Grammy?
I know, right? This is amazing.
It's the lyrics are speaking to me.
My son, when he was 7, Isaiah, used to love Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, we're on Cotton Eye Joe all the time.
Bro, he would do the dance.
Oh, man. We do the dance in the house.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what song I just got my kids into? I said, my son's listening to like some dance music, dancing. And I was like, if you want some dance music, Sandstorm.
Really?
Sandstorm. Yeah, you know Sandstorm, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We listen to Sandstorm in the house. So now, like, I'll literally go to FaceTime him, and I hear Sandstorm playing in the background, and I'm like, man, we got a little disco going.
There you go.
Yeah, we do dance clubs and everything.
We do too. Our kids grew up. We were singing. Our household is full of music and dancing. Yep. So that's my kids,
Same.
Yeah.
My kid dances a little too much though. Now we were in Target today.
He was getting it,
and literally there was a song on the thing. He's over there like. And I'm like, can I just order my latte at the Starbucks, please? You just stop moving for 2 seconds.
Dad, the rhythm has me. I can't stop.
Rhythm is a dance. Yeah, man. So no on the last one.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're singing. We're singing.
Yeah.
In fact, me and Devin are going to go eat after this. We're singing.
Yeah, we're singing the whole way, the whole time.
There we go.
All right, man. So is that what you got for us? Parents in the news.
Parents in the
Very
news,
good
man.
job.
Thank you.
Love it. I appreciate
Thank
it.
You, man.
And I'm glad that we can laugh at the parents too, as
Absolutely.
teachers always need that. Now, James, how can people find you online?
The same way, Facebook and Instagram, same name, James Yon Comedian. That's YON. Thank you for all the people who have been following me, man. I've been getting a big push lately. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Keep it coming.
Awesome. Don't forget, October 10th, I'll be in Salt Lake City. Also have all the Board Teachers Tour dates coming up. A ton of them. We are going to hit up all the cities. I've had people message me, are you going to be on this? Yes.
Yes.
If you're thinking if I'm going to be there, I am cleared my schedule the rest of the year. I got some speaking in some schools, but it's all during the week. These are on the Thursday through Sunday shows, so I'll be there. Also, be sure to check me out, devincomedy.com, for all the upcoming info and tour dates, and rate this 5 stars. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. There might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that, But us, suggested things. That's us. Crying in My Car. Devin, Siebold, James Yon, Board Teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.